So being part of the fellowship is important biblically, because we've talked about that in terms of Paul's experience with the Philippian Christians. We've talked about that in terms of Jesus' prayer. As a matter of fact, we could even mention that God himself, as a trinity of Father, Son, and Spirit, is also a partnership. The Father doesn't do what the Son does. The Son doesn't do what the Spirit does. But together, they work in partnership to enable people to come to faith, to grow in faith, and to fulfill their calling. So, thinking about you and your ministry and your church, some ways in which being part of the fellowship can help you. Let's think about some practical ways. I've suggested one way is calling on somebody with expertise. And there are many, many people in our movement that have areas of expertise. Some of them will be older, some of them might be younger, some might come from different countries, but God has brought us all together to help each other, support each other, and encourage each other in our ministries. So there are quite a range of things that people can help with. Everything from practical things. Say, for example, you are thinking about purchasing something. Well, there are ways in which people might be able to say, I might have something like that, or I might know where I could advise you to get it cheaper. So there's a practicality involved in that. I'm sure if you got hold of Lawrence in the office, he could help you with other kinds of things that would be to do with maybe legal issues, or whether you need to register a charity, or he could find someone who could help you do that. In addition to that as well, we can think about other practical ways that could be helpful. So maybe you're really tired in your ministry and you need support. You just need somebody to come in and preach for you on a given Sunday. There's a team of people in FCC, senior leaders and other leaders, who I'm sure would be delighted to come and minister and serve you in that way. It may be that you're starting a children's ministry or a youth ministry and you're not sure exactly what you need to do. Well, there are other churches that do that already, and they would be able to help inform you and point you in the right direction. So there's lots and lots of different practical ways that being part of the fellowship can be a real blessing to you. But let's flip that on its head. Let's think about what you have that God has given you that you could offer the fellowship. Maybe you've got some time that you could give to do some practical tasks. Maybe you could be one of those people that could advise, that could speak, that could encourage, that could develop somebody. If we're going to be faithful and fruitful in our ministries and not burn out too early, or not get distracted, or not give up, which happens quite often actually, we need to have the guidance of others that can help us. There are people who mentor others, who coach others in different skills. There are people with prayer ministries and encouragement ministries that can be a big help as well. And of course, there are lots of resources. So aside from historical resources, if you're a history person and wanted to know the history of FCC, there's loads of those about. But there are some of us who work in academia, in education, and we can point you into places of learning or books and resources that ourselves or others have written that can actually help you in the various ministries that you are involved in at the same time. Being part of FCC does not mean that the head office and the council are going to somehow control you in your ministry. You are self-governed. You run your church and your ministry yourself, but they're there for the support, for the information, for the accountability in that positive way that will help you do your work really, really well. There's nothing worse than feeling isolated, feeling alone, feeling inadequate, And part of being part of FCC is to help overcome that. And I know that in recent years we've been developing regions, and hopefully that will continue to grow and flourish, along with our leaders' conferences and our AGM.